I want to speak a little bit about the Brahma Viharas, which are the manifestation of the fearless state. When there is no fear present, when there is no self-identity present, then what manifests is what we can call the pure mind, the mind that has no fear and no desire, but the mind that manifests in this purity. Brahma Viharas translates something like the abodes of the gods, the places where the gods live. You can't attain the Brahma Viharas. They manifest when you, this self-identity, is not there. But when they manifest, they bring a blessing to yourself and to all beings. So there are 4 categories of Brahma Vihara, and only one can manifest in any different moment. And it's spontaneous. You're not choosing to be loving or compassionate or joyful or equanimous. That is just what manifests. So the first one is love, metta. So love in this sense does not mean a conditional love, as in an emotional, romantic relationship where you're making conditions on the other person. I will love you provided that you are the way I want you to be, or that you bring happiness to me, or that you bring pleasure to me. Metta is the letting go of any conditions applied to life at all that we accept. So it is unlimited acceptance. Imagine the power of that when you're not making conditions on another person or another being. When you're not saying, I can only be happy when you are a certain way, then you recognize that my happiness is not dependent on how you are. My happiness begins and ends with me. Therefore, our relationship is pure because I don't want something from you. And this is love. Often it's translated as loving kindness, or more accurately, I feel, love and kindness. Love is this acceptance to the world, the universe, and the individual beings in that world and universe as they are manifesting in this moment. And then kindness is our response to that. Kindness is a great gift to bring to the world. It's not about losing some part of yourself, but it is going beyond the idea of, well, I can only be kind to the people I like, or the people I approve of, or the animals that I like and love, etc., etc. It is this all-encompassing way to be in life. I accept you as you are, without making any conditions that you should be different. And why would we want anyone to be different? If we just reflect, Dharma is such an important thing to reflect upon, not just to take the words of the teacher, but to understand them for yourself, to go beyond the teacher. Why would you want ever someone else to be different? And it's so that you can be happy. The whole of your life is ultimately about you. But it's not just you, it's everybody. The beginning, middle, and end of our life is ourselves. And what we want is to feel happy or secure or at peace, at ease, not disturbed. And so we make an unlimited list of conditions to support that idea. Of course, we fail all the time. So then we come to Dharma practice, and we're told, no, everything's all right. What you have to do, this part of you that's making demands into life all the time, has to just get out of the way and allow life to unfold and recognize it's not personal. It's not about you. You only make it about you. So loving kindness, or love and kindness, is this opening of the heart so that we can be in peace, whatever life presents. There is a strong misconception that when we offer love to other beings, that we can only do it to beings that we actually like in the first place. But love has got nothing to do with liking. You can love what you don't like, which means you can be accepting of it. But we also have to say, at the same time as this, never, ever, ever, in any way, become a victim to someone else. The first person we have to love is ourselves, which means the first person we have to take care of is ourselves, not in a selfish way or arrogance or conceit, but in caring. This is our body, we have to take care of it. This is our life, we have to take care of it. This life itself is our opportunity for full awakening. So we have to take care of ourselves. The first part of taking care of ourselves is to treat ourselves well. I think everyone's had an experience where they've gone too far, to be exhausted, to be so tired. It's not useful. It doesn't help us. When we're tired, we are short-tempered perhaps and angry, or we're just not clear. So we have to make sure that we take care of ourselves in a loving way, as we would take care of anyone else that we feel close to, that we feel connected to. So this is the first one, metta. Metta meaning unconditional and unlimited acceptance of this moment and everything that's existing in this moment just as it is, but only in this moment, because this moment changes. And then it becomes the next moment, and the next moment, and the next moment. And our life is just a procession of these moments. And with each moment, there is a response from us. The first response from the fearless state is love, unconditional acceptance. The second one is karuna. Karuna usually translates as compassion, but we can also, if we study the language, the Pali language that these words come from, we can see that compassion is one understanding of the word karuna, and another word might be grace, to live with grace, to live with an elegance. The recognition that all beings meet difficulties in their life. All beings struggle, because all beings want to be happy. All beings want to feel at ease and to feel comfortable in their life. And then we meet the opposite of the things that we want, and so we struggle with life. We meet the first noble truth, dukkha, the unsatisfactory nature of life. We fall in love, we meet a nice man or woman, and we think, well, this is it. This is the perfect person for me forever. This person is going to make me happy forever. And then, of course, they fail us. They don't do anything, but they stop meeting our expectation of them. And why? Because they're meeting their own life. What we have to understand is, when we begin to examine compassion, is that everybody's story is as important to them as your story is to you. So this is really beautiful, to recognize we're all the same. We're all the same. We all want to be happy. We don't want to be unhappy. And we very often struggle with life, struggle with the things that we don't control, because we don't understand. This world is filled and occupied by unawakened beings. And because they are unawakened, they meet the consequence of that, this grasping and rejecting, desires and aversions, fear and joy. We're making these choices all the time. I want to be happy, I don't want to be unhappy. So you're doing that, but everyone else is doing that also. So compassion is that recognition. All beings struggle, because difficulties, frustration with life begins with mind. So any being that has a mind, which is all beings, has the potential for difficulties in their life. At the same time, of course, they have the potential for full awakening. So as the heart opens, as our Dharma heart opens, as the fearful aspects of our life fall away, become less and less and less, as the desires fall away, as they become less and less and less, then the heart opens. And what we experience more and more are the Brahma Viharas, maybe just in different moments. But we experience this unconditional love, this unconditional acceptance for all beings. We experience this unconditional compassion, the recognition that no matter who that person is, they struggle with life in the same way we do, the same way. The next one is called mudita, and mudita, again, usually translated as joy, but it has two aspects. The one is that as we put down this burden of self, this idea of I, me, mine, my, and then all the things that come out of that. There is a lightning in our life. And that lightning brings a smile to the face. When the Buddha attained his full awakening under the Bodhi tree in what is now Buddha Gaya, he smiled. He didn't, punch the air like a footballer who scored a goal, that he'd achieved some great achievement. There was just that recognition. It's done. The work is done. There is nothing left for me to do. And that ease of simply being, that beingness, brought a smile. And if you look at Buddhist statues, whatever tradition they come from, they all have, they're different according to the tradition, they're different according to the country. But all of them have the smile. This smile of liberation. So this joyful countenance. My teacher was a very joyful man. The teachers I have met that I've felt close to have all been joyful people. Funny, humorous, caring, loving, with lots of energy. And dynamic, actually. But always having this joyful countenance. Not making life personal. I just said, life is not about you. You just make it about you. And because of that, we struggle. We take everything personally. So when we're not doing that, then there's this joyful expression, this joyful experience of life. The other aspect of mudita is what's called sympathetic joy, or the ability to celebrate the good fortune of others. When people have something wonderful happening in their life, that we can celebrate their joy as well. We can bring joy to it rather than jealousy or irritation because it's someone we don't like, but they won the lottery or whatever else. They got a promotion at work. But we can celebrate that because we're not identified with desires and aversions. We're not identified with, I want to get what I want, but I don't want other people to get what they want. There is still this separation, not this recognition of karuna, of compassion. So when the heart is open, because we're not grasping, because we're not pushing people out of the way to get what we want, then there is this beauty, which is the quality of the Brahma Viharas, this beautiful manifestation of the celebration of the good fortune of others. So we celebrate the good fortune of ourselves, that we have found this Dharma path, that we can train, we can sit in meditation, we can go and make retreats, we can meet, there are many excellent teachers. And we can bring something of value into our life, which we can then share with the world. And we can let go and let go and let go and let go. This is called the Visuddhimagga. In Theravada teaching, it's called the Visuddhimagga. The path of purification. To let go of the conditions that take us to unhappiness. When we speak about letting go, we're never speaking about letting go of anything that has value, but letting go of the conditions that give rise to anger or other expressions of fear. To recognize that all our attachments are just moments of mind. And our desires are, again, just moments of mind, so we can let them go. But not all at once, but gently and slowly. Let go, let go, let go. And as one great teacher says, if you let go a little, there's a little peace. And if you let go a lot, there's a lot of peace. And if you let go completely, complete peace. And in that letting go completely, manifest the Brahma Viharas. This beautiful, radiant, unconditioned, unconditional acceptance of the universe as it's manifesting in this moment and everything in it. Metta. Karuna, the recognition that all these beings have the same journey as you. In the detail it may be different, but pain is pain, suffering is suffering, disappointment is disappointment, frustration is frustration. So that recognition, well, we're all the same. So we probably should work together. Compassion, at a very simple level, that's compassion. When we understand this, there is this natural manifestation of joy. Well, it's just life. It's just life. No need to make a big deal of it. It's just life. And sometimes in this life, we get what we want. So good, celebrate it. Because you don't always get what you want. Sometimes in this life, we don't get what we want. But we're adult people. So we can be at peace with the things that we didn't get, that we thought we would like. We can move on. We don't have to make issues around these things. And sometimes we get what we don't want, and that can be something severe, something like an illness. But these things are not personal. They're just aspects of our path. So we can be at peace with these. And then we can celebrate the good fortune of others. We can applaud, well done. You don't have it. When the heart is open like this, there is this recognition that the world has really nothing that I want. Therefore, I don't have to be manipulative. I don't have to be dishonest or deceitful. Because the world has nothing I want. So I can share in the good fortune of others without asking for something for myself. And the last one is upekkha, which again has many levels of translation, but usually it means, its translation is equanimity, or disinterest, or impartiality, these kinds of words. And that's really what I've just spoken about, that as the heart opens and the love manifests and the compassion and the joy, then there is a disinterest in the world and what it can offer. That we're not striving to be the best or the most powerful or the richest or whatever else people aspire to bring into their life. That we can be at peace. That we can live our life not from desire, but from preference. I don't know how that sounds to you, but preference means if I ask for a cup of coffee, and then you say, well, I don't have coffee. You say, okay, then I'll have tea. There's no conflict. There's no disappointment because the coffee was only a preference, not a desire or a demand. And this is how we live. I just said, sometimes we get what we want. We can choose. What would you like? I would like this. That's a preference, not a desire. Desire is always a double-edged sword. When we get what we want, we can feel happy. But sooner or later, that happiness changes, it falls away, and we meet the other side of that. Or we don't get what we want, and then we meet the frustration of that immediately. So our desires fall away. As the heart opens, the desires fall away. And our life then just becomes this living manifestation of the Brahma Viharas. Love, compassion, joy, and equanimity. How beautiful is that? So just to say again, you don't do these things. These things happen when you are not there, when this self-identity, this part that's always demanding, I want or I don't want, I approve or I disapprove, I like or I don't like. When that part falls away, all that's left is this pure mind that manifests as love, compassion, joy, and equanimity. So then, I offer this to you today for your consideration and your reflection, and may you all be well and happy.